everyone, and welcome to Lauren Reed Color. Thanks for joining me for another Saturday Snippets. In today's video, we are hopefully going to be finishing off our page in Meine Reis durch Afrika by Rita Berman. The page that we've been working on is this crocodile on the Sandbank, and all we have left to do is this crocodile, the fish, and to finish off the background on this side over here and this side over here, and then any other embellishments that we might want to add. Before we get to that, I thought that I would just announce the book and the page that we will be doing for the next few Saturday Snippets. And I put up a poll on the channel for people to vote on the book. And the book that won is this Romantic Country by Erie. So I've been flipping through the book. Let me just put these aside for a second. I was flipping through the book to choose a page, and you may or may not know that I have a personal challenge to color a cat every month. So I was actually looking for pages that had cats in them, and there are two that I was considering. So the first one is this cute little wreath with a little cat watching over the water and the tea and the fruit. It's really very cute and quite summery. So I was considering this one. And the other one that I was considering is this one. So this one is this little girl lying in bed reading to her teddy, and the little cat is about to fall asleep in the basket, and it's really, really adorable. This has been a very difficult decision, to be perfectly honest, because I really want to color both of these pages. So I basically put the two pages into a random generator, and it picked this one. So we are going to be coloring this page on the channel over the next few weeks, and I am calling it Sleepy Time. So yeah, this is the one that we are going to be doing. Okay, so I hope you will join me for that. Before, again, another thing that we're going to do before I begin coloring our crocodile is to show you what I've been doing this week. So let me do that. I finished a couple of pages this week. The first one is in Mythographic Dragon Spell by Joseph Katzenbang. I'm coloring this book together with a group on Instagram, one page a month. And the page that we did for May is the Dragon Eye page. I'm really happy with the end result, even though there were a few moments where I was concerned that I was not going to get the effect that I wanted. If the page looks familiar, it's because I've been showing it over the last couple of Saturday Snippets, my progress, and I also started coloring this scales on my unpopular opinions video. So as I was saying, I was scared for a moment or two that I wasn't going to get the eye effect, but in the end it did come out the way I wanted, and for that I colored in the edges and then sort of left the middle light to make the iris. And then I colored in the boat for the pupil. So yeah, I think I did get the eye effect that I was going for overall. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed coloring it very much. And it was actually quite a quick page. I'm very surprised that it didn't take as long as I thought it would. So that is my page in Dragon Spell. Another page that I completed is in Fairy Celebrations by Clara Markova, and the page that I did is the cute little seahorse with his pearl. I think this page is absolutely adorable, and I enjoyed coloring it immensely. I colored this for the Wild Year of Color hashtag hosted by Jamie at Finding Joy in Color, because the prompt for May was a seahorse. I had originally planned to do a much larger page, but I was running out of time, so I decided to color this one instead, and I'm really pleased that I did, because it was relaxing and fun to color. I went with a limited color palette, so the colors for the seahorse are also in the pearl and vice versa. I used Castle Arts pencils. Some of them were the regular Castle Arts, and others were the harmonious and the pastel tints. So I used all of them together to get the effect that I wanted. I did use one Prismacolor pencil, and that is the Prismacolor Bronze, which is actually not a pencil that I use very often, but it was perfect here for the shading to get this effect of sand behind the seahorse, and to also get the shading on the oyster to get that nice sort of glowy bronzy color. So yeah, it was a perfect choice for that kind of shading, and yeah, really pleased with the end result. And I'm happy to have done another page in this book. It's really interesting because there are quite a few pages that have this little seahorse and his pearl on them. So there's that one, and then it's there again. I think there are like 5. So I will be redoing it in different variations because I do want to color all the pages in the book, not only just the really big ones. Yeah, so that is my page in Fairy Celebrations. And then I also have a couple of WIPs, and the first one is in Country Kitchen Charm by Teresa Goodrich. The page that I'm working on is this Cozy Nook page. I have finished off the benches, I've done the wood on the table, and now I'm starting in on the pillows. The color scheme that I have in mind for this is blues and pinks, but I needed one more color, and I consulted the color wheel and it suggested yellow. So I will be making some of these pillows yellow. I think it'll be yellow over here, and I will have other elements of yellow throughout the page. So those are the 3 colors that I'm going to be using for this page. I'm hoping to actually finish this one this weekend, so it will be done before the end of May, and then I will be able to have completed another page for my Creative Haven 26 hashtag. I will be showing you all my coloring plans in a future video, including the page that I plan to color for this hashtag in a different Creative Haven book. Yeah, so that is my page in Country Kitchen Charm. I also started a new WIP in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. I was planning on coloring that Country Kitchen Charm page most of the week, but I don't know, I got it into my head that I needed to begin a new page, and so yes, I now have a new WIP. This is also a page that is a buddy color for June with Christine from Sync Colors. We are coloring this book together. Christine has colored quite a few more pages than me, so I think there might be some pages that I color that she has already done, not as a buddy color with her, but I really enjoy coloring these pages with her. We chat as we color and we have a really good time. Anyway, the page that we are going to be doing together in June and that I have already started is this Down the Rabbit Hole page. So as you can see, I have done the sky and the tree. I had originally had a completely different image in mind for this page. I was going to do a galaxy background. I was going to have the galaxy go into the rabbit hole maze and then go into the little hole, but I decided that I didn't like that idea after all, and I wanted to go with something a little bit more spring-like. So yeah, that's why I decided to do this particular background. I went onto Pinterest. I found a really beautiful inspiration image. This is my inspiration image over here, and I'm going to try to get the effects from this image into the page. I'm debating still what to do for the background of this maze. I was thinking either muted beiges and browns or green, but the more I look at it, I really think that the muted beiges and browns will be a much better idea for the background. And then I will do the rabbit hole as, the rabbit maze as a gradient of some kind. So I would start light over here, in the middle have it be darker, and then lighter again towards the end because we have these light sources over here. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the maze. Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to color and chat with Christine on this page. Yeah, so that's my WIP in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. Finally, I have this WIP in another Johanna Basford book, and this time it's Rooms of Wonder. Last time I was talking about how I wanted to get started in this book, but it's really intimidating because of all of the small details, yes. And so I've decided that I'm just going to color in this book when the mood strikes me every once in a while. And I decided I'm going to start on the first page, which is actually the inside cover, and it's these keys. So the time before I had colored this one, and this one, and this week I colored this one and this one. So slowly but surely I'm going to work my way through this page and through this book. It could be that there will be pages where I color the whole page, and other pages where I will color in them a little bit at a time. So yes, because there are some of these really small little vignettes that are easy to color in one sitting. And yeah, slowly but surely I will get to this book and all of the pages in it. Okay, so that's my whip in Rooms of Wonder, and now we're going to move on to coloring our crocodile. All right, we are zoomed in on our crocodile, and these are the colors that I'll be using. We have pale yellow in Pablo, and the Prismacolor is cream. We have light ochre or sand in Prismacolor. We have moss green, which is Kelly green, spruce green, which is Prussian green, sepia, which is sepia, mauve, which is imperial violet, and periwinkle, which is indanthrene blue, or perhaps just regular violet. And then we have this Bordeaux red, which is mahogany red. So I'm going to be putting touches of the purples and the reds on the crocodile to sort of make it look cohesive with the rest of the page. So yeah, those are the colors we're going to be using. As you can see, so far we have put down some of the colors just to get sort of a mapping of where to put the highlights and the shadows on the crocodile. And now we're just going to work on deepening up the shadows to make the crocodile look, you know, like a crocodile. Okay, so let's get started with that. I'm thinking that I am going to take the spruce green, which is Prussian green, as I said, and we're going to start working on deepening up our shadows. Okay, so let's just, let me just turn this a little bit so it's easier for me to get to it. Which side do I want to start on? Let's start with his eye. Yeah, okay, so we're off. Welcome, everybody. And just a reminder to everyone, if you're new here, yes, this is the Saturday Snippet video is a chatty kind of video. I chat about all sorts of things that happen in life, yes. So I chat about my week, my work, things that I've done, things that I've seen on the World Wide Web. Yeah, so if you enjoy that, then make sure to stay tuned. And if you prefer just to color along with me, then you can always put me on mute, put on your favorite TV show or your favorite music and just color along with me. Everything here is just fine. We are very, laid back and easygoing on this channel. So this week was interesting, to say the least. It was a bit hectic and also a little bit nerve-wracking because I had to take the day off from work on Monday to go to the hospital to have a medical exam. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because not everybody wants to hear about medical things. Suffice it to say that everything's okay. It's just I needed to have this test, and it was a bone mapping test. So it had to be done at the hospital, and I waited 2 months for this appointment. I actually waited longer than that. I waited 7 months for the appointment. They made the appointment originally for March, but it was the war. Yes, for those of you who are new here, yes, I live in Israel. We had a war, which is not uncommon here. We have, unfortunately, we live in dangerous times and very unstable times. So anyway, I digress. That appointment, the original one that I had, was canceled, and then I had to reschedule and wait another 2 months for it. So anyway, but yeah, it came around and off we went. I had it at Rambam Hospital, which is in Haifa. And it's about 40 minutes by train to get to the hospital. But the hospital is like right near the train station. So that's fabulous. We didn't have to, get a bus or go very far. It's within walking distance. So yes, and that hospital is like a maze. It's just something else. So the hospital was originally a hospital built during the British Mandate, So some of it is really old. And then around the old part of the hospital, they have built modern buildings, and some of them are really huge. Anyway, so the whole hospital is just a maze. But yeah, we managed. They had good signs. There were signs everywhere for where you needed to go. And the clinic where I was going is in the older part of the hospital, in these like older sort of, I think that they were originally perhaps barracks. And yeah, so obviously they've been renovated and upgraded, but the original building is still looks like British Army barracks. Yeah, so that was where I had my test, and yeah, I was a little bit apprehensive because they had told me that what happens is you go and you have to arrive on time. They ask you to arrive on time, which for Israelis is not easy because, you know, everything here is hurry up and wait. But actually they were very well organized and took me in on time. But they told me that what happens is they inject, it's an isotope. I will put, if you don't want to hear about this, I will put a time stamp in the video for you to skip over this, even though I'm not going to go into too much detail. Anyway, they inject you with this isotope, and then you have to wait. And they originally told me that I had to wait about 4 hours. And I'm like, wow, what am I going to do for 4 hours? But they say you can leave the hospital, you can go, you know, you can go to the mall, you can walk around, you can eat and you can drink. In fact, you have to drink, which is always the hardest part of these tests for me. Like whenever you have to have an ultrasound and you have to drink a lot, I don't drink a lot to begin with. So forcing me to drink for these tests is torture. It's the worst part of them, for me at least. But then after they had put in the isotope, the nurse said, no, you don't have to wait 4 hours, just an hour and 45 minutes. So that was much easier. He explained to me that these guidelines are always for adult men, you know, so who are like 3 times my size. So they always adjust everything for, you know, people, for women and for children and for people who are physically smaller. So I only needed to wait an hour and 45 minutes. And when I came back to have the actual test, they took me in straight away. It was really great. So we walked around the hospital. The hospital has sort of like a little mini mall. So we walked around, we had lunch. The assistant, Karen, came with me. I drank a lot. I was a very good girl. Okay, I'm just going to take this spruce green and blend out this is the moss green, and I'm using it to blend out the spruce green. Yeah, and then so I went in to do the test, and the technician said to me, he said, so there's one, they also told me that the test would take half an hour. It didn't. It took 10 minutes. Anyway, so he says to me, right, so you're going to lie down and the machine will go over you and it will take pictures of your skeleton. It's so cool technology. And he said there's one moment where it will be over your face. Like it starts out over your face and it'll be over your face for like 2 minutes. And then it will move away and go down the rest of your body. So, you know, I was okay with this. So there I am. I'm lying on the table. I have my eyes closed. And like about a minute and a half into this test, I opened my eyes and the camera of this machine was right over my face, like over my nose. And I had a sort of claustrophobic moment. Even though he'd prepared me, he told me this was going to happen, it doesn't really prepare you for having this machine right on top of your face. So I was like, do I tell him I want to come out? But, you know, I just closed my eyes, I counted to 100, and when I opened them again, the machine had moved on. So, but that was the worst part of that and the drinking all the water, because you have to wash the isotope out. So, and you have to get it to spread all over the body. Anyway, I have already got the results, and everything's all right. I have some things to do for follow-up, but I think everything's going to be okay. So that was my Monday. And the rest of the week was, recovering from that. So I went to work. My students, work was actually fun. So in one of my classes, my students were doing group speaking tasks, and that was fun. They enjoyed that. I have one more group that has to do that task. It's for a grade. They've been practicing throughout the semester, and now they did one for a grade. They did that. As I said, I've still got one more group on Monday. I had to cancel my class on Monday. And so the group who I have on Monday has to now do that task this coming Monday. But the students said they had fun. They enjoyed it. So that was good. And in my poetry class on Thursday, it was a smaller group because it's the Eid. Yes, the Muslim and Jew students, they celebrate the Eid, and so they didn't come to class. So I needed to come up with something that I didn't want to teach new material. So I had to come up with something to practice the material that I've already taught to a smaller group. So what I did was I created a task where they have to apply everything they've learned during the semester to analyze a poem they've never seen before. So I put them into groups, and they could choose their own poem. So I wrote out the steps, the steps for poetic analysis. There were like 10 steps that they had to work through, and they could choose whichever poem they wanted. If they wanted, I could assign them a poem, but all of them said they wanted to choose their own poem. So that's what they did. Okay, I am going to blend out all those greens with this pale yellow. So they all chose their own poems, and this is a 4-hour class. So they spent about 3 hours doing the task, and I went around, I answered questions, but they got really into it. And they didn't choose easy poems. So one group decided to do, what's the name of the poem? By Maya Angelou. It escapes me right now. Some of them did poems by Maya Angelou. Some of them did poems by Billy Connolly. Others did poems by Sylvia Plath. So yeah, they did not choose. One group even did a poem by Shakespeare. They did a sonnet. So yeah, I was very impressed with them. They did a good job. And then in the end of the lesson, the last hour of the lesson, one group presented their analysis of the poem. And then next week, the other groups will present theirs. So there are 3 weeks left of the semester. So there's time for all of the groups to present. And it'll be nice for the students who were away because of the holiday to, see what the students did while they were gone. And if they want to, they can also do it. I'll give them the task as well. It's not compulsory. It's not for a grade. It was just for fun. And I think that made the difference. They didn't get stressed, so they enjoyed it more because it wasn't for a grade. Yeah, so the group that presented did theirs on The Light That Exists in Spring. That's the name of the poem, and it's by Emily Dickinson. And I'm always interested in how they analyze the poems from a 21st century perspective. All of these students were born in the early 2000s. Oh, I feel old. They were all born in the early 2000s, and they all have it's to be expected, early 2000s mindset. So when they analyze a poem from the 19th century, I always tell them that they need to, think of the perspective of the time period in which the poem was originally written. What am I going to do here? I'm going to go back in with the moss green. Okay. As you can see, I'm just shading this crocodile. To think of the perspective of the time period of the poem. So this poem was written in the 19th century. It's around the time that, the Industrial Revolution had already been, but it's the effects of the Industrial Revolution are being felt. And I also tell them you need to also think of the language of this poem, because some of the words might not mean today what they meant in that time period. So for example, the word ecstasy does not mean the same thing. Well, one of the meanings still exists. So extreme happiness or pleasure. But whenever my students hear ecstasy, they think of the drug. And I have to explain to them that the drug was not invented until the 20th century. So that cannot be what the poet is referring to. So there were some words in the poem that they had to, look up their meanings and make sure that they understood what they meant. It was really interesting, and they did a really good job. And it led to an interesting class discussion about industry and technology and changes and how people accept changes. Because the poem is all about the speaker in the poem is someone who's observing nature and basically saying that science cannot explain nature. Nature is human emotion and feeling. So one of my students said he didn't agree because, science can explain human, we have psychology and it can explain So I had to explain to him, but that is a 20th century mindset. In the 1800s, people, the science of psychology had not yet been, accepted. Even Freud's theories hadn't not yet been developed, and there was still some superstition and all sorts of things. And this idea of science explaining human behavior and emotion is not a 19th century idea. So Emily Dickinson would not have, known this or accepted this. He was accepting of this. The class had a long conversation about it. It was really interesting. And then, so we were talking about all of that. It was really, really fun. They enjoyed it. They learned. They applied what they had learned. This is always my concern, is that I teach principles of literary analysis, but the students struggle to apply it to a text that they haven't seen before. So in the prose and drama course, which I teach in the first semester, we do something similar. They have to write a paper where they apply the elements of fiction to a story that we did not read in class. And that's for a grade. They have to write that. So they have to choose a story and they have to apply the elements of fiction to that story. So I'm always concerned that they're not necessarily able to do that themselves. Okay, what do I want to do with this crocodile? He's looking a little bit too green. Let's put some of this light ochre, and that will bring some of this olivey color that we've got in the other crocodile. So we'll put this in between the green and the light yellow, and a little bit over the green. Yeah, there we go. It's turning it a little bit more of an olivey color. So that's what we did in the poetry class. In the 20th century literature class, we're doing fantasy. So we were talking today, not today, because today is Saturday. We were talking about The Little Prince and other works of fantasy. So it was also an interesting class. Also, it was a smaller group because, as I said, it was the holiday. Yeah, so that was my work week. What else did I do this week? I'm working on a new puzzle. So I don't know if I spoke about this last week. I may or may not have, but I was doing the puzzle that I was working on. Well, the assistant and I were working on it together. Was an escape room puzzle. It was really cool. It was, we were thinking when we first got it that it would be, really simplistic, but it wasn't. It was well thought out. It was well designed. There were some real brain teasers that you had to work through. So we finished the puzzle. So the way it worked, I can't remember if I spoke about this last time or not, so I will just, give a short recap. The way it works is you've got the puzzle, okay, and you have to read a little story, you have to, do the puzzle, and then you have to use the puzzle to solve sort of like a riddle. I think I did talk about this last time. I think I was talking about how math is not my thing because the first part of the puzzle involved math. Yeah, I remember now. I did talk about it. Anyway, we finished that puzzle. It was fun and very entertaining. And now we're working on a new puzzle. Excuse me. I have a frog in my throat. 1 second. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Okay. Sorry about that. So we've got a new puzzle going now, and it's a panorama puzzle. So it is longer than your traditional rectangle puzzle. But it's good. We're enjoying it. When I put the pieces together, they snap into place really nicely. It's a really satisfying feeling. It's a puzzle. The name of the company is Treffle. And this particular puzzle is a picture of Venice. It's the Grand Canal at sunset. So it's got a really gorgeous gradient sky. So we're working on that. Okay, right, let's just turn our crocodile, put more of this yellow over here. Yeah, so that's, we've been working on that. And of course, I've been reading. I finished reading Who Will Remember by C.S. Harris, book number 20 in the Sebastian St. Cyr series. It was good. I enjoyed it. Harris's historical research is excellent, and I always find myself, just 1 second, I don't want to be off camera. I always find myself going down the Wikipedia rabbit hole. She will mention something, and then I will go and I will go and research it. So it always takes me longer to read her books because I've been researching. So one of the things that she mentioned in this book was the year without summer. I think I also talked about this last time. There was a volcanic eruption, and it sort of caused severe climate change. And that year was a year without summer, and it caused havoc all over the world. So that's the part of the backdrop to the story. But another thing that she mentioned in the book was the bishops of Winchester. So, of course, I had to go and look them up. And that was also very interesting. What else did I look up? Oh, another thing that she mentioned. The book takes place, it's in Regency, England. And this particular book is after the end of the Napoleonic Wars. So you've got all of these veteran soldiers returning from the war and the way they're treated. Because the heroine in the book she's a writer. She writes articles for the newspaper. And she was interviewing all of these veterans who had returned from the war. So one of the events that she mentioned in the book, hold on one second, let me just have a look at this. Oh yeah, he looks really good now. Now we're just going to deepen up our shadows even more with some sepia. And then we'll do his eye. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, it's the assistant.
I thought you were doing the fishes.
I have to finish the crocodile first.
But I want to see the fishes.
You'll see, we'll do the fishes next.
The little fishes are bereft.
They're lonely. They need some color.
They need some color in their life.
Yes, we will. We will do the fishes next. Okay. We've got permission. Sorry for the short pause. I needed to get some more water. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Oh, yes. I was talking about the book that I was reading. And, so the heroine, she interviews soldiers who have come back from the war. And one of the events that she mentioned is that there was a ship, well, actually 3 ships, that were carrying troops home, and there was a storm and the boats were wrecked. So I had to go and look this up, and it was really interesting. Yeah, so yeah, I always appreciate her historical research. And another thing that was a trope in this book was the use of the tarot. So tarot cards and that. So, of course, I had to go and look that up as well. Anyway, so that was a good book. And now I am starting a new one. This time I'm on a historical kick. I'm reading another historical romance by Mary Ballag. This one is called Only something. I'll look it up and put it on the screen. I can't remember, because quite a few books in the series start with only. But it's book 5 in the Survivors Club series. So it's fun. I like this series. They're also set in Regency times after the Napoleonic Wars, and all of the characters are survivors of the war. So, yeah. What else have I been doing? I've also been watching American Monster, which is really good. I'm enjoying it very much. Basically, every episode is more or less this wonderful couple get married, they build their lives together, and then something terrible happens to them. So, it's very interesting. I love true crime. Jo from Geordie Colors, I think it was on her Saturday Snippets, her Sunday Snippets. She was talking about starting a new type of video on the channel. She's going to be coloring and talking about true crime stories. I'm so looking forward to that. I will definitely be tuning in. Yes, this started because she was talking about a true crime show that she had watched, and it had, interested her so much, and she wanted to share with us. So I love true crime. I will definitely be watching that. And it'll be interesting to see which cases she talks about. All right, so I'm basically just, deepening up shadows on our crocodile. I'm thinking, where else does he need shadows? Here, to here, and his nose, and here on the bottom of his jaw. So I will am watching that, and I will watch Joe's videos. What else happened this week, or what else did I? Oh, yes. Okay. So I saw that Google has now released completely out of beta the Gemini Omni AI. Oh, I really dislike AI. And basically, you can't turn it off. Okay, so whether you like it or not, you have got AI search. If you Google something, you're going to get AI search results. There are workarounds. So because I was looking for workarounds. There are workarounds. So for example, if you put the search query into the search box and then you put -AI, it will stop giving you the the AI summary. Oh, is someone mowing the lawn? No, I think they stopped. If they stop mowing the lawn, I apologize. Sorry, my neighbor is either drilling or mowing or doing something. I don't know. I apologize if you hear any drilling or clunking in the background. I might have to take some pauses while he drills. What was I talking about? Before we were so rudely interrupted. Yes, we were talking about Google AI. So there are workarounds. You can also go into the browser settings and turn off the AI there, but it doesn't really turn it off. I've discovered it's an illusion. It does not actually turn anything off. So I decided I don't like this. I want to be able to think for myself. I want to find proper links to information that I can, evaluate their veracity. I don't want AI. So I have decided that Google and I are parting ways. And I went and I looked for alternatives, and there are lots of alternatives hold on, pause again for the drilling. Yeah, so there are quite a few alternatives of browsers and search engines that allow you, they also use AI. I don't think you can get away from it. But these ones allow you to turn it off. So I have now downloaded Firefox. I remember Firefox. I used Firefox many, many years ago before Google became the dominant browser. I used Firefox, so I'm quite happy to go back to Firefox. And there they very helpfully, they actually tell you, Firefox itself tells you how to turn off AI. You don't need to have it, and I will not be having it. And I also decided that I would not use Google as my search engine. So in Firefox, you can choose which search engine you want to use. Sorry, more drilling. You can choose which search engine to have. And I have decided that I am going to be using DuckDuckGo because, again, you can turn off the AI search results. So I will be doing this from now on. We don't have to use Google. If Google wants to force AI down our throats, there are alternatives. Maybe if enough people, I understand that people are just leaving in droves. People should be given the choice to decide for themselves what they want. If they want AI, let them use AI. If they don't want AI, we need the option of being able to turn it off. And the fact that Google seems to think that they can shove it down our throats has made me, if you can hear in my voice, a little bit angry. So no more Google for me. I'm even considering stopping using Google Docs and Google Sheets. I'm looking at alternatives. I understand that there are alternatives that do not use AI. So I am on the lookout for that as well, because I don't want to be forced to use something that I don't want to use. Okay. So, I think our crocodile is looking so good. Okay, let's do his eye. Okay, so I'm going to do his eye in the same way that I did this crocodile's eye. We're going to take the pale yellow and just put this over everything. Not this bit in the middle. I'm going to make that really dark. Okay, so we're going to do this. Then we're going to take the light ochre and put it in on the bottom there. Okay, and then we're going to take the Bordeaux red. Yeah, so I am on the lookout for alternatives. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to put some of that in here too, so that they'll be cohesive. Yeah, so I'm on the lookout for alternatives to Google Docs, because I'm not a fan. Okay, I'm just, blending out those colors. Okay, and his pupil will be very dark. Okay, let's put some more of that red in. I like it. And here too, make the pupil nice and dark. Okay. Oh, he looks really good. Now I wanted to put some more of those purples in, so I'm taking the periwinkle blue. You can use the indanthrene blue, or it wasn't indanthrene blue, it was dioxazine purple hue. And we're going to put this into some of his dots. I might go, actually, you know something? I think I'm going to go over this with gel pens. Okay, I think that would be better. Okay, now let's move on to our fish. So for this, I'm going to take the pale yellow, and I am going to put a light layer of this onto all of these fish. Okay, I am not going to be using the lines that Rita Berman has given us. I'm just going to make the fish. I'm going to ignore these lines. You're going to see. Oh, make sure I'm on camera. Sorry about that. I will have to move the page up and down to be on camera. All right. Okay, now we're going to take the light ochre, okay? And basically, all of these fish, the top of the fish are going to have a highlight. So these colors are all going to be on the bottom of the fish. Okay. I'm just using the same colors that I've used everywhere on the page. Okay, this creates cohesion. Okay. Right, so yeah, I've been doing that. What else did I see? I saw that Meta, who owns Facebook and Instagram, is also offering now paid tiers. And a lot of the functions that, hold on, let me just get another color. This is also a color we used also on the page. It is the russet, okay, which is mineral orange in the Prismacolor. Okay, so yeah, they are offering paid tiers for extra features. None of these features are really anything that appeals to me. My concern with this is that they're going to take features that are currently free and make them paid. I'm concerned that that is going to happen, which is really, I wish they would stop this. I wish, there are issues with Instagram. Our feeds do not populate the way we want them to. We miss people's posts. The algorithm is awful. I wish they would fix that and stop with the money, because, it's a huge, huge conglomerate. They make plenty of money. They don't need any more money. I'm this is also annoying me, as you can hear. Really? Don't they make enough money? They need to do this? I don't understand the logic. People are going to move away if they don't, stop. We'll find alternatives. Stop forcing things down our throats. Anyway, very disturbed about all of this. But on to happier things that I saw on the internet. So if you followed the channel before, I haven't really been talking about her because she doesn't have any new puppies, but I follow a channel on Threads called Camp Carter, and she fosters puppies. But all of the puppies that she was fostering have been adopted, and she took a break. She does not have any new ones. But some friends of hers who are also foster family, they have a puppy. And they went on vacation. So Camp Carter now she's puppy sitting. Yeah, so it now has a new puppy. And he is just the most adorable little thing. He's some sort of Jack Russell, maybe pit bull mix, something like that. But he is so adorable. And his name is Snort. I'm assuming that his family called him Snort because he snorts. Okay, those are our fish. Now we're going to do the background for these flowers. We're going to use the same colors we used before. Okay, so we're going to take the what is this? This is salmon pink. Okay, and we're just going to put this around the flowers. Yes, we're going to merge it in with our purple there. So we're basically getting this gradient background that matches what we have there. Okay, and now we're taking the border red, and we're going to put this in the shadow areas. So Rita has given us this shadow areas, these dots. You can use them for your shadows to indicate where the shadows go. Yeah, so so Snort, the gorgeous little puppy, he's just adorable. And I understand that Camp Carter, she is an NHL fan, and there was some hockey match with a team that she supports. So she bought little Snort a sweater for the team so he could cheer them on too. It's adorable. Yeah, so I saw that. I also saw, what else did I see? I also saw, there was an interesting post about how the post office in the 1800s used to have cats on their payroll. So cats were brought in to deal with the rats who were attracted to the smell of the glue that was used on stamps. I'm using sepia just to deepen up my shadows. So the rats were apparently attracted to the glue that was used for the stamps. And so they got cats to come into the post office to hunt the rats. Now I'm using the pink to just blend it out. Here as well. I'm going to put a little bit of this here. I like to use flicking motions because flicking motions helps to blend. Yeah, so, and the cats were on the payroll. They were fed in tuna fish. And there was even a man who was responsible for the feeding and care of the cats. And he had a title. What was he called? The Federal Cat Inspector, something like that. And one time he threw a party for them. Anyway, I thought this was just adorable. There's a channel on Threads called Historical Facts that I follow, and it was on that that channel. Oh, now he's banging something, my neighbor. I really apologize for the noise. He's obviously doing home improvement things. Yeah, so I'm just, deepening up my shadows, blending. Okay, hold on. So I've taken a step back from the page to look at what I've got here, and this looks quite messy to me. So I am just going to take an eraser. Let me just make sure it's clean. And I'm just going to erase some of this. Yeah, so I'm just erasing a little bit to tidy it up. Okay. And then brush to brush that away. Okay, and now I'm just going to use white to blend this out. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. Oh, I like that. That looks nice. And now let's do on the other side. Okay, now here I can use, I'm thinking I'm going to use the greens and the yellows. So we're going to start by putting down a layer of yellow. Okay, don't worry so much about going over what we've already colored because it's similar colors. So we're doing that. Okay, and now we're going to take, I'm going to do a green. No, let's just keep with the yellows. Let's go back now with the light ochre. So here you can be a bit more careful about not going over what you've already colored. We can always put colors back if we feel that they've gotten a little bit blended out too much. Okay, and I'm back in with the yellow just to blend that out. And also with the white. A bit more of this here. Just, creating some shadows underneath the dates. Okay, I think that's it. All right, we are now just going to put in, let me just maybe soften this up with the eraser a little bit more. Yeah, okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to zoom out and we're going to put in gel pens for embellishments. Before we do that, I'm just going to take this pale yellow and I'm going to just put a light layer of the pale yellow onto all of our moons and stars. This will make them glow. Okay, and then we're going to take a white gel pen and we're going to put in embellishments. Okay, and I also see that these we forgot to color in. Let's just use the sepia. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a white jelly roll. Any gel pen that you have will work, and I'm just going to go around the stars. Okay, and also you can do these circles. Okay. Yeah, you're just putting in your embellishments. Okay. Right, so basically at this point all we got to do is put in the final touches with gel pens. Okay, hold on. We've also got that one, this one. All right, where else do I have? Oh, that's looking really nice. Now we're also going to put it on the bubbles in the water as well. I just use the indications that Rita's given us. If you want, you can add more, but I think I'm just going to keep the ones she's given us. I'm being careful not to smudge. I have a bad tendency to put down the gel pen, and then before you know it, it's all over the place. Oh, I think they're playing music now. The neighborhood's a little bit noisy this morning. I'm never sure what the camera picks up and what it doesn't pick up. Okay, now do we want to put, I'm just gonna let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to take the gel pen and I'm also going to outline these squiggles. Yes, we're gonna do that too. So let's turn this around. Okay, I'm hoping that this part is dry. Okay. And we're just going to outline these as well. Okay. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. You can just leave it the way it was. It looks beautiful either way. I think if you put the pen, it will give it a glow. Okay. This. I'm always quieter when I'm doing these because I have to concentrate to not smudge. That's his leg. Okay. Oh, yeah, great. I did not smudge. All right, that's what it's looking like now. Okay, now I also want to, let's let that dry for a little while longer. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to put more embellishments on the crocodile itself. So for that, I've got a couple of Languau gel pens in various colors that are colors that I already have on the page. So I've got a green, and it doesn't really matter which ones. I've got a dark purple, and I've got this like maroony brown color. So there are colors that are already on the page, and we're just going to put some of these onto the crocodile to make him look a little bit shiny. All right, so I know I already put colors down, but I'm going to put more colors down. Oh yeah, I think this is better than the pencil. The pencil, it was not bright enough. Ooh. I love these pens. They're amazing. Okay, that's given him some style. Okay, and this one, let's try a different color. Let's try this browny maroon color. I want to see if we like it. I don't want them to be exactly the same. They can be slightly different. Oh, this is nice. So basically, you can choose whichever colors you like. You don't have to use the same colors as me. That is a bubble. 1 second. That's a bubble. That's a bubble. Let's make that a bubble too. Okay, and just, I don't want to smudge. Okay, so we have one crocodile that has brown embellishments and one that has purple embellishments. Yeah, so again, I just use what Rita's given us. Oh, see, this is what happens to me. Let's not smudge. Okay. Oh, he's also... Do we want to do those as bubbles or... No, we'll also do these as little spots. What else do we want to do? We want to... Let's give them these two crocodiles. First of all, this crocodile's got teeth. Okay, I'm just letting that dry for a second. It's I'm really trying not to smudge anything. Let's give him and him. Yes, and let's do, okay, now I have to be careful. Should have done this first. Just put in his teeth. Yes, okay. I think that's it. Have we got everything? I think so. All right. Oh, wow. Oh, wait, actually... Do I want to put some... Actually, wait, no. I also want to put some on this tree. Oh, maybe we'll put the green. Let's put the green on the tree. Hold on. Oh, wait, and I also forgot there. Sorry. I forgot the embellishments for his tail. Sorry, crocodile. You were almost unembellished on your tail. All right, here we go. Now he's got his embellishments, and I want to see if we can put some of this green on the tree. Is that going to show up? I'm not sure this is going to show up. We might want to put some white. I'm just putting some, random dots. Oops. Let's see, do I like that? Actually, I do like that. That does look nice. Put some more. All right, maybe some over here as well. Let's see. Oh, yes, very nice. Okay, let's just have a look at this. There you have it, our completed crocodile on the Sandbank page. I think it has come out beautifully. The embellishments with the gel pen have really added a nice touch, and of course they also shine in the light, which is an added bonus. Thank you everybody for joining me as I've colored this page, and I hope that you will join me in the next few Saturday snippets when we color in Romantic Country by Erie. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.